How many of us fulfill our dreams, asks Ben Fogle, pointedly. I've always lived my life to have no regrets, and when I die I'd like to think, you know what, I made a difference and I did everything I wanted to do, he claims. But so many people won't necessarily have done that, and that's really sad. The adventurer and presenter's dogged admission isn't without reason. We're discussing the premise behind his hit Channel 5 show, New Lives in the Wild, in which he travels the corners of the globe to meet people who have turned their backs on the daily grind. The world is quite angry right now, isn't it? Fogle, 43, continues. We're reading it all the time. It's never been so divided, and this kind of simmering anger that manifests itself on the internet, in social media, it's so unhealthy. For me, the wilderness on one hand is very black and white. It's going to either be rainy or it's going to be dry. You're either going to be cold or you're going to be hot, he observes. Sometimes it's easy to interpret it, but it also just has an honesty to it that I think society has lost, and that's what's really appealing. 6 seasons in, and Fogle, whose TV career stemmed from his stint on the BBC reality show Castaway in 2000, is clearly thrilled about the series' success. During this run he will join another set of brave individuals who have chosen to venture down an alternative path to everyday life, from Egyptian farms on the edge of the Sahara Desert and the vast wilderness of Australia. Don't miss the moving story of Jim and Kim in episode 1, to the foothills of the Spanish mountains and even a floating island off the Canadian coast. The more places I go, the more I understand, and also the more I want to ask, reasons Fogle, who earned his broadcaster chops on such shows as Countryfile and Animal Clinic. My inquisitiveness and curiosity has increased, and what's really fascinating is the different reasons, the catalysts, that make people give it all up. Above all else, the unifying trait, he notes, is the supreme happiness of everyone he meets. I think so many of us dream of breaking free from the manic expectation in society, he begins, passionately. Now, more than ever, people are trying to earn enough money to be able to pay their mortgage or pay their rent, and then have enough money to pay for the latest technology. He follows, I've got this real problem with planned obsolescence, this whole idea that everything is made to only last for a year. So Apple only produce a phone that lasts for 1 year and then they will upgrade it. Planned obsolescence is symbolic of why the wilderness is where we belong, he elaborates, tellingly concerned by the rate at which it's eroding, the simplicity of just picking fruits that are growing on the trees, of being able to plant your own crops, of not having a financial tie to other people and businesses and government, he says. I think that's, again, another reason why so many people are embracing alternative lives in the wilderness, living off-grid. That's what makes all these individuals happy, because they've achieved their dream, they've done it, they've walked the walk, they've done what many of us wish we were brave enough to do. But that's not to say he's encouraging the UK's population to up sticks. If I did that I'd probably go back to the city to kind of have a little space to myself, he quips, with a laugh. Rather ironically, however, Ben Fogle lives in his own urban retreat in Kensington, a house he shares with his wife Marina and 2 young children, Ludo and Iona. Can he ever see himself jacking it all in and waving goodbye to the rat race? Yeah, for sure I'd love to give it all up and go and live in a wild remote corner of the world, but I'm very lucky because I get to do it through my work. Ben Fogle New Lives in the Wild starts on Channel 5 on Tuesday.